Hello, Trent. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Can you fill me in and all of us on how your elbow's doing? If did you practice today with the brace on, and just what are your limitations or feelings about everything?
The elbow's doing good. It's made a lot of improvement over the past week or so. Um, yeah, I practiced today. Felt pretty good. I chose to go with the tape. I'm not a huge fan of the brace, so um, you know, I went with the tape today, but everything feels pretty good.
Hey Trent, how did you hurt the elbow, and how close did you think you were to being able to go last week?
I knew going last week was a bit of a shot in the dark. Um, you know, but I just, obviously with the season being where it was, I couldn't give up on myself early in the week. So I just thought I'd give it to the very last second to see if I could, make any breakthroughs or get any better, to see if I could push through it. I did that, and it didn't work, but we kind of knew that, though. There was we knew that 1 week of rest was probably not enough. And I just prayed that we can get a second week in, and we were able to. But I heard it on the sixth play in the Houston Texan game. So I just I labored through it. I labored through it. I got it done, and eventually when we had the game in hand, they let me come out. But same thing with that game. I knew that game was too important for me to pull out at that time, and during on the sixth play of the game, we still were kind of, trying to find our way. So I definitely didn't think it was a good time for me to miss any time. So I just gritted through it, and I paid the price later.
Trent, will that require surgery? And then the other part is, can you take us through Sunday? Like, what was it like for you to watch that game and be on the sideline and be in the locker room and just root those guys on? What was that perspective for you?
Oh yeah, first off, no, it won't require surgery. It was something that there's a non-surgical approach, and so I think that's probably what we lean on taking. But yeah, watching the game from the sideline was extremely tough. You see, I lost my voice. Still hadn't got it back, full effect yet. But yeah, it was tough, man. I felt a piece of me I felt bad. I felt like I let my team down, even though I knew there was, me trying to go out there and play under that condition where I could barely use my dominant hand, my right hand. I didn't think me with one good hand was better than Colt with two. So I had to make a decision that went against my pride, and just had to kind of, succumb to the injury, and just, had to give it its time to heal. But not coaching it, but playing it from the sideline, just trying to give tips and affect the game any way possible, just by helping my guys out. I mean, it was nerve wracking. It's something that I definitely don't want to do, especially in a high stakes game like that. I can't see myself doing that again.
Not only the roller coaster of being on the sidelines, but the roller coaster of that game was a crazy one. How did you manage your emotions during all of that?
Uh, I mean, it was tough, man. It was tough. Like, obviously going down 17-0, me, I think I took a lot of it personally, because I thought that, if I didn't have this stupid injury, I could be out there helping my team and putting us in a better position, not knowing if I would even made a difference, at that time. But that's just how I felt. It sucked, sitting nursing the injury and watching your brothers and stuff fight for the season. And then when it's not going that well, obviously it's easier as a player, because you know that there are ups and downs that come with the game, and you try to fly at a certain level. Don't get too high, don't get too low. But when you're not in the game, you get to worry. I worried going down 17-0. I thought our season was pretty much over. And then, like you said, a roller coaster. We rode a high all the way to get back to, 17 up, and then we driving looks promising, and we have a mishap down in the red zone that gives them life again, kind of give them the momentum. They take advantage, they score, We going down, it's down 7. We got to drive the length of the field and get a touchdown to keep the game, less than 2 minutes left. And we give up a sack on third down. Yeah, I think at that point, I thought like a lot of fans thought that our season was pretty much coming to an end. I knew that there was some hope because we had 3 timeouts and our defense is really stiff against the run. I didn't expect the Rams to try to throw the ball at all, trying to run the clock out. So, I knew there was a flicker of hope, but yeah, that was probably the lowest point of the game. And then obviously it was followed by outstanding drive by Jimmy and the boys, and followed up by another drive, that Jimmy was at the helm of and led the team down for the game-winning field goal. So yeah, it was definitely a lot of emotions, but it's definitely not anything I want to relive anytime soon.
Trent, just, George mentioned it. This is only the 3rd time you're going to be in the playoffs. Just what is that like, given how long and accomplished your career has been, but, limited experience in the playoffs? What's it like just being here and getting another shot?
It's different. I think last time I was in the playoffs was 2016, so the 2015 season really. So, literally, 6 years ago. So that's twice the career length of the average NFL player. So I don't even remember what it was like in 2016. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember how it felt, around the building, how the vibe was. But I know now the vibe is amazing. The sun shining brighter. It seems like, you wake up, the day starts out nicer. It's just, having that vibe and knowing that, we did what half of the league is already enjoying the off season. And then there's another half of the teams that, that took care of business during the season that gets to play for something more. And to know that you're a part of that bunch, it definitely breeds confidence in the organization, but, it allows you to take a step back and look at the hard work. I mean, us as a team, we've overcame a lot, in this whole season. We've played the best competition the NFL has to offer. We've been through ups and downs. We've played games without our quarterback. We played games without, the best tight end in the NFL. We've been through the ringer. So to me, I think it's so gratifying to know that we're still here and we're still fighting, and to know that there's literally not a fight that we hadn't seen. And so this team I think has enough grit, has enough resolve to do anything we want to do.
What are the challenges that the guys, specifically the guys you'll be up against on that, as far as the edge rushers for the Cowboys? What are the challenges that they present you?
Oh man, I mean they want, that 3, that rush tandem, 11, 94, and 90. They're 3 of the best in the league. When you look at one group, I think that's one of the most concentrated group of rushers and more dynamic group of rushers. I think that makes that defense go. Personally, if you look at them throughout the year, they all get it started up front. It all starts up front. I think 94 is having a breakout year. I've always thought he's a pretty talented guy. I think now there's not as many people in front of him, and I think he's showing the league what he really can do. I think he's really setting it on fire as opposed to what he can do in the pass rush game and how hard he plays. And obviously we all know what 11's been doing, and we've all seen what 90's done his whole career. So those guys present a huge challenge. It's definitely not going to be easy. It's one of those things we just can't play into their hands and have to get into a drop back game.
Hey, Trent, you mentioned the drives Jimmy led at the end of the game and then in overtime. And, he's had quite a few of those moments this year, a lot recently, actually. Even Tennessee, when you guys didn't win, with the bum thumb and everything. You didn't obviously get to see him play much last year, but has he shown you this year anything more like, hey, I respected that guy, but I didn't quite know he had this in him, if that makes sense?
No, I never questioned what he had. I mean, I came here looking at Jimmy as a Super Bowl quarterback. He took his team to the Super Bowl. I don't care how good your defense is, how good your run game is, and the quarterback still has the biggest job on the football field. And if your quarterback's not getting it done, the team won't get it done. It don't matter how big a sample size his job has to be. If he don't get it done, the team don't get it done. So I've always held Jimmy with the highest form of respect because I know he's a winning quarterback, and winning games in this league is extremely tough. No matter how good the surrounding group of guys around you are, when you're willing and dealing that football, that's a lot of times it's a one-man job, and a lot of times a couple inches right, a couple inches left can result in a turnover. So their job is very tedious, it's very intricate, it's very detailed. So the fact that he, had his team undefeated for the majority of that 19 season, then he's followed that up and still took his team to the Super Bowl. I've always had the highest level of confidence in him.
Got time for 3 more, guys?
Hey, Trent, just kind of drawing from your Texas roots, what does it mean to be playing in Texas and going against the Cowboys, and just whatever extra motivation that is for you?
Honestly, I don't really get a lot of extra motivation from it anymore. Yeah, I think I went to Oklahoma, so it was always a rivalry coming back, playing the Longhorns, and playing them in Dallas, and then going to the Washington, football team and playing them twice a year, and it being such a division rival. That kind of that little juice, the extra juice you get it going back home, that kind of like played out a few years back. But it always feels good to go to Jerry's World, go to Texas, which is, and I believe is like the Mecca of football, and be one of the biggest shows on turf, come Sunday. I think, everybody's going to be tuning in. This is a classic matchup where, it's literally can go either way. So, I think being in a game like that, in an atmosphere like Texas, I think that gets me juiced up. That it's not that I'm coming back home and have some type of, grudge against a Dallas Cowboy team or anything like that.
Trent, Kyle said yesterday that he thinks Juwan Jennings plays 95% blacked out, and he obviously looks like he's having so much fun out there. What does that bring to the offense, and just a reminder that it is a game where you're having fun?
For me, I know for me and myself, just being a guy 12th year, it energizes you when you see that type of raw emotion. You see somebody who literally is like, Juwan is only in his second year. It's really his first year. He spent a lot of the year hurt last year. But, to see him living out his dreams and to see that it really means a lot to him. He doesn't take it for granted. He's not one of those guys who wake up and say, I'm supposed to be here. I deserve to be here. He works every day for his spot. He's worked up the depth chart. He's worked up the roster. I mean, he has a very infectious type of energy that he brings to the huddle, that he brings to the locker room. So me, I get it kind of recenters me a little bit to say, I'm so far removed of accomplishing my dream, that now is work. And now to see somebody who's still kind of in that honeymoon period of accomplishing their dream, I think it's refreshing for me. I love to see it. I think he's the guy that when you put that much passion and you care that much about what you do, I honestly feel like the sky's the limit for him.
Last one, Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Trent, the All-Pro team's coming out tomorrow. What would it mean to you after the things you've gone through if you were to make that team?
I think it'll feel good finally. It sucks because I can't let it define my career because I've never made it. So if I felt like, that's what I needed to define my career, then anything I've done up to now is really hogwash in my opinion. So, I mean, it'll definitely feel good to get a notch if that happens. But, at this point, I'm not putting a whole lot of time into it, or not a lot of thought going into it. If I make it, I make it. I've been disappointed year after year after year. So it's really come to a point where I'm almost numb to it, like, yeah, I would love to make it, but I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not, I didn't even know when it was coming out, just because, you know, I'm so used to getting that disappointment. So I just, if it happens, it happens, and I'll thank God and keep moving.
All right. Thank you, guys.